So you want to buy, sell, and or move to Del Mar, California? You've come to the right place. Stay tuned because in this video, we're going to talk about the pros and cons of living in Del Mar.
Be sure and stay till the end because we have a special tip that we will share with you about the pros and cons of living in Del Mar.
Hi everyone, it's John Elizabeth Finley coming to you from none other than Del Mar, California. If you're interested in all things Del Mar, cost of living in Del Mar, best places to live in Del Mar, where the locals like to hang out, best surf breaks, best beaches, restaurants, yoga spots, everything you need to know about living in Del Mar, then be sure to hit that like button, the subscribe button, and the bell below to get notified anytime we release a video of what it's like to live in Del Mar.
Honestly, we get a lot of feedback about making these videos. People reach out to us buying and selling in Del Mar and about moving to or relocating to Del Mar on a daily basis. So if you are one of those people and you are interested in moving to or relocating to Del Mar, or maybe you currently own a home in Del Mar, we'll leave our contact info in the description below.
You can call us, text us, email us, direct message on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, whatever is convenient for you. We help a lot of people buy and sell homes in Del Mar, and we're happy to help you too.
Okay, let's jump into the pros and cons of living in Del Mar. All right, so
pro number one.
Yep, is the great beaches and well, surf breaks. You know a lot about that.
Yeah, I mean, so there's great surf breaks. It's Del Mar is a small town and it's a small stretch of beach, but there are several great surf breaks. And if you don't surf, that's okay because you can enjoy the ocean. There are phenomenal beaches, not only to walk on, but to sunbathe in, to play, to whatever.
Well, I think really for all of North County Coastal San Diego, for the most part, maybe with the exception of Oceanside, it has really big, wide, flat beaches that are really usable. So Del Mar's beaches are great.
Del Mar's beaches are great. And this is a tip. We're going to give you a tip on the end, but this is a quick little tip. The beaches in the south, like 13th Street South to 4th Street, super unpopulated. So if you want to, get some beach to yourself, you do got to be careful because of the cliffs and there are some landslides sometimes. But you do get some really unpopulated beaches there too. So beaches are great.
Yeah, and I mean, moving on to the con of it is, if you want a beach area to yourself and not crowded, because in the summer and the holidays, the rest of the beaches are really crowded. They really are.
Everything. The whole town gets crowded in the summertime. There are events that go on. People come there. There's a lot of second home ownership and there's a lot of vacation rentals that happens. And so the city just swells in the summertime. It's just something that you live with, but it's because the weather is so great during the summer and the beaches are great, right. And it's just a great place to be and there's a lot going on.
Yeah, absolutely. And well, you mentioned the weather. It's so great in the summer. Actually, it's great year round.
Yep. We're in our pro number two.
Yeah, right. Well, it's almost year round. I mean, just about.
It's almost year round. You've got great weather, and
with the exception
of our con number two, which is May gray and June gloom.
Yeah, always that's a thing that always shocks me every year. All of a sudden we're in the middle of summer, or it feels like coming out of spring, going into summer, and then it's all of a sudden gray and cold, and I'm putting on jackets, and it's crazy.
It's really counterintuitive. If you haven't lived here, or if you haven't been here during that time of year, you think, okay, it's springtime, we're coming into summertime, it's going to be hot and sunny, and it just isn't here. You've got May gray, June gloom. It's overcast, seriously, for maybe 50 of those 60 days. You get some sunshine, but it's just a strange thing, and it's what we live with, and it's what we know.
And it burns off sometimes during the middle of the day, so you get a glimpse of what's coming. But let's move on to pro number three, which is healthy lifestyle. It's so easy to have a healthy lifestyle living in a climate like this year-round, and
always easy to get outside and go for a walk, go for a run, ride a bike, whatever it might be. It just promotes healthy living, right?
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's hard to find an excuse for being, not healthy or overweight here in San Diego.
You've got that great weather or sunshine guilt. Right. I don't know. I haven't lived in Seattle, but I understand it rains quite a bit there. I can see you're okay, it's a rainy day. Let's sit inside and do nothing. Here, like if you're sitting inside and it's 75 degrees and sunny and everyone's walking by and running and riding their bike, like you feel like you're missing out on life.
Right, and that's the con. The con is it's such good weather that it's sometimes hard to buckle down and actually work.
Seriously.
Seriously. Sometimes the outdoors is calling you and you got to go play. So
we work from home a lot, and so you sit in here and it's like summertime or it's wintertime. November we get days that are like 80 degrees and sunny.
Right.
And you're like, I don't want to sit inside and work. I got to go outside and play in this.
So
you got to have some discipline. So that's the deal. But
pro number 4 is top ranked schools in Del Mar. They've got it covered.
They've got some of the best in all of San Diego. So that does drive up the home prices because people want to live here. They want their kids going to the best schools.
A lot of people move to it.
Some of the best schools are in Del Mar, from elementary, junior high to high school. The cool thing about high school is you've got 4 high schools from which you can choose from in the district, and they're all different.
Not in just Del Mar, it's in the neighboring cities as well.
It's in the neighboring cities.
They all have a different flavor.
But the district it depends on your social circle. It depends on what you like to do. If you're into arts, music, sports, whatever.
Biology,
so
surf,
it's really good. So top ranked schools.
Okay.
We
Going
go
on
to the
con
number 4.
Parking. Parking's difficult to
and
find
lack
in Del
of
Mar.
parking.
Yeah, well, okay, lack of parking, and they are working on that right now. They're kind of reorganizing the streets to make it so there is more parking, but there is so little parking especially during holiday or summer. But the other part of that is they have a pretty aggressive parking police.
Well, there's everywhere in Del Mar you have to pay to park. So everything is metered. There's really no free parking, and they've got parking police that are, if you've been in Del Mar and you have spent any time in Del Mar, you're familiar with the parking police because you've probably got a ticket before or you've seen them writing tickets. Yeah. They're all over the place. They ride their bikes around, and they're nice people. They're just doing their job, but
making money for the city, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of parking violations going on because parking is so tight. So people will like try and squeeze into this spot, and if their bumper seriously is like this much in the red, ticket, you're done.
Okay, so on to pro number 5, the Great Canyons and trails, the walking trails, bluffs.
And the bluffs. Yeah, the cool thing is like when it's high tide, you've got bluffs that sit, at least south side of Del Mar, you got bluffs that sit right on the ocean, so you can walk along that path and see the ocean, amazing ocean views. But then
you also have the Torrey Pines Preserve Trail, which
Crest Canyon.
Yeah, Crest Canyon. You can get lost back in those trails, and they're not very, people don't know about them, and people don't go on them that much.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's just a really nice thing, and it really divides the two sides of Del Mar, and we'll get into that a little bit more. But it divides the two sides of Del Mar from west side to east side, but a Crest Canyon runs through there, and then Torrey Pines Preserve runs through there. But there are just really cool trails that you can walk through there. For me, it means a lot because that's where we played. I grew up in Del Mar. That's where we played. I mean, we played Army, we had forts, we played hide and seek. Everything happened in that canyon. What happens in Crest Canyon stays in Crest Canyon. That's all I gotta say.
Okay, all right.
So moving on to con number 5.
Yeah, the train. Train makes some noise.
Train goes through Del Mar. There used to be a train station. There's still a train station. It's an old train station, but now it is an office, and people use it as like a catering place. But it's no longer functional. So the train does roll through there. It slows down.
And you said there's a fake horn?
Yeah.
I didn't know it was fake.
The most annoying thing to me is the residents voted that the train noise was too loud. So now they have a fake horn. There's like a pole and a speaker, and a fake horn blows, and like to me it's way more annoying. It sounds horrible, so that's definitely a con.
Okay.
Con, fake train, but you do have the train that rolls through there.
Okay, all right. Well, moving on to pro number 6. This one's kind of a big one. The racetrack, the fair, and concerts in the park. I mean, that's basically Del Mar's entertainment
and
in a
concerts at the racetrack too. We've been to some really cool concerts at the fair and at the racetrack. It's really cool. We just had the Breeders' Cup here, and
that's in November.
It's just there's so much to do just based around the racetrack, the fair, the concerts in the
Right.
park. It's so neat.
The fair starts around the beginning of June, goes to the 4th of July, and the racetrack starts around mid-July and goes till Labor Day. And so that kind of tells you why we have so much traffic in the summer, because those events are there.
And so the cool thing about the racetrack is you have 4 o'clock Fridays, which the races start at 4 o'clock. And afterwards, there's always a concert. So that's really cool, too. And then we have concerts in the park.
Oh, yeah,
Seagrove
right.
Powerhouse Park overlooking the ocean in the summer. So
This is pretty much all in the summer, with the exception of the Breeders' Cup, which is in November.
right. So moving on, con number 6.
Heavy traffic in the summer goes right along with all the reasons we just talked. That's kind of simple to say right there, you know. We can just kind of move on
It
along.
is. You got to avoid the fair and you got to avoid the racetrack traffic, but those are set dates or set times, so you know when they are. But there was a lot of traffic, and there's just a lot of traffic going through downtown Del Mar in general during the summer.
And in another one of our videos, we talked about maybe it's a good idea to skip opening day for that reason, because traffic gets so much and the crowds are, entertaining, but
to say the least.
yeah, right.
So pro number 7.
Small town. It's a small town, and we get it all back in the fall.
Yeah, so
when all the crowds leave.
we have a saying that we get our beaches back in the fall. So right after the first weekend in September, and the races are done, the holidays over with, everyone goes back to school, we get our beaches back. So if you live here, it's great to have all the fun and excitement during the summer.
Right.
But when everyone goes back home and everyone goes back to school, it's amazing to drive through Del Mar or walk on the beach, and it's like, where is everyone? You feel like you got the town to yourself.
Yeah,
so it's cool.
The locals take the town back.
Yep.
Okay, so con number 7 is that it's expensive. It's expensive to live in Del Mar by quite a lot, and we're going to be talking about that in our next video, in fact.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, it's one of the most prime places in San Diego. The beach is amazing, and you're paying for beach, sunshine, ocean views, amazing houses. It's expensive. So that's a con, because there's a barrier to entry there.
That's right. So going on to pro number 8 is that for the most part, everything is walkable in Del Mar. Yes, you know, I mean, you might have to cut through Crest Canyon to get to town, which John's familiar with, but you can walk to all the little restaurants and the boutiques in Del Mar, and it's great. And plus, you can avoid the parking situation that way.
Well, and we talked about parking. You can park somewhere up on the hill and walk down, and then once you're down there, everything's walking distance. So that's a good little trick.
And I think that's why people like to live in the obviously closest to the town in the beach colony, or up off 15th Street up in the higher part, because it's all very close to the town. So that's something that people definitely want.
So now con number 8 is in the downtown area, there's no grocery stores. So you got to get in your car and you got to drive either up the hill, close to the freeway, or you got to drive down through Via de la Valle, Jimmy Durante, Via de la Valle to get over to the store there. So there's no grocery store close by. You have to kind of
plan ahead. If you're living downtown by the beach or anything, you have to plan ahead and go to the grocery store.
You can't be sitting on your couch at 10 o'clock at night, ready to turn on Netflix and wanting some ice cream.
It's not as easy.
It's not as easy. All right, so let's go to pro 9.
Okay, so there are panoramic views of the ocean from many places in Del Mar, not just on the ocean front. And in general, you can still get a pretty good ocean view, even 3 houses back from the ocean. But down in the colony, the beach colony, where it's all flat, you're 1 house back in your ocean views end right there. You're paying
your steps to the beach, though.
Right. So there's the difference.
A trade-off.
But you're paying pretty big numbers to live down in a spot where you don't have any views, and you could probably pay equal or lesser money and live up on the hill just a little bit and have amazing views.
Yeah.
You're just an extra 5 houses away from the ocean.
Well, even if you live east of Crest Canyon, if you live like on the west side of Half Moon Bay, on a 2-story home, you've got some great ocean views. So pretty cool.
So I mean, there's I guess what I'm trying to say is there are different entry levels into Del Mar depending on what you want.
So con number 9, we kind of just talked about it.
We did, yeah. That you can't get an ocean view a couple houses off the ocean, but you're kind of paying almost those ocean view prices.
Right. So there's a little trade-off there. And then we're going to end on a pro, which is Dog Beach, which everyone loves. It's really cool. It's on the north end of Del Mar. And if you're a local like myself, Dog Beach to be Rivermouth. It used to be called Rivermouth. And it morphed into Dog Beach because that's the place where everyone can take their dogs off leash. So everyone meets there, takes their dogs, runs around.
Dogs go surfing.
It is doggy heaven there. But it's a cool thing to watch. It's a really cool thing to watch.
A lot of dog lovers in San Diego,
and
a lot of people go there just to get their dogs to the dog beach.
Yep, and there's a local, even longer time local than me, gentleman by the name of Jimmy Joe, who is like the mayor of Del Mar, the quasi-mayor of Del Mar, and he built a garden near the beach. Like, you'll see it. You walk to Dog Beach, you see that garden. He's responsible for that. He takes care of it. So it's really cool. It's a pretty thing to see. You didn't know that.
About that. Yeah.
Right. But here's the deal. You guys stayed to the end. We're going to end on a pro tip, but it's not just Dog Beach. Our pro tip is there is a canyon south of Del Mar Heights Road connected to Crest Canyon called the Torrey Pines Preserve. And it is lightly used. Not a lot of people know about it because everyone goes to Torrey Pines by the beach where you walk up, and that's an amazing place by the golf course. Yep. But not many people know about this because it's engulfed and surrounded around like a bunch of little houses.
Right.
Or not little houses, a bunch of houses in little neighborhoods. And so if you know where the trails are and you can search them and you can find them, it's really lightly traveled and a super, super peaceful place to be.
Absolutely. Yeah, I would have never known about it unless you showed them to me. So.
Yep. So there's bro code and then there's local code, and I just lost local code because I'm giving you guys the local tips. So thanks for staying to the end. We appreciate you guys checking out the video. We do a lot of videos on Del Mar, what it's like to live in Del Mar, what it's like to hang out, where to go, beaches, all that stuff. We help a lot of buyers and sellers and people moving to and relocating to Del Mar on a daily basis. We love to share our passion for it. I grew up there. I'm super passionate about Del Mar, and we just want to be able to help you too. So if you have any questions, reach out anytime.
Yeah, it's such a beautiful city. We look forward to talking with you. Bye.